Hi everyone, we're live. Hi, we were having an interesting time in the backstage there. But welcome back. We're back after I needed a mental health day last week with some Dragon Age, and we're here, we're queer, we're playing some Dragon Age, and we're just gonna do that whole thing where we just introduce ourselves and answer questions and all of that. We always start with our illustrious storyteller. Yes.
I'm illustrious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey everyone, it's me, Emma, Hummalou on the internet. How y'all doing today?
Right.
I'm here to run these guys through the delightful game of In Darkness Unbroken, subheading Thirst and Emotions. My question for the group, of which I have an answer to this week, is we're pro wrestling, you're a wrestler, we need a theme song for when you come out to go to the ring. What would your song be? Traditionally, I probably would have had Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin, but most recently, I mean anything by Rage Against the Machine right now, but
yeah.
That's where we at right now, everybody.
It's true.
Yeah. Take it away, everybody.
Hi everyone, my name is Sin or Elizabeth on the interwebs. Today I will be playing Bella, the city elf rogue. And if I feel like this is a combination of me and Bella. I don't know if anyone's heard the song. I put it for us. It's called Eat Spit by Slush Puppy featuring Roy and the Serpent. Go listen to it.
That's so good.
That's a song I don't think I've ever heard of before.
It's really, you'll enjoy it.
It's so good.
I'll give it a
Can I
listen.
put links in the... I don't know if I can put links in the chat.
I think you could put link in and then someone can, like, allow it through. Mm-hmm.
It's a
I won't
Spotify
ban you.
link, so there you go.
Mm-hmm.
And hi, everyone. I'm Gambit. I will be playing Arlen, our big man boy, today. And my song is In the Face of Evil by Magic Sword.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. I'm sensing a theme.
Hi everyone, I'm Kay Phoenix. I play Ophelia, our Mortalitasi mage. If I had a theme song as a wrestler coming in, I'm going to go old school. I'm going to go with Guns N' Roses' Welcome to the Jungle.
Nice.
Always had a thing for that song.
It's a good one.
What's up, nerds? I'm Val, and I play Robin. And if I had a theme song coming out of the wrestling, I just decided this 5 seconds ago, it would be Helena by My Chemical Romance. So
Yes.
like just it hits so good every like that. It hits so good. But yeah, like Robin herself, I'm trying to thinking about Robin, and I think with Robin, I actually had something on my brain like 3 seconds ago and forgot it, but it might actually be, I don't know. I honestly don't know what I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna come back to this to the end of the day after I've gone through like my huge playlist. But
I feel like we'll all at some points in the game just suddenly go, oh, and it will pop into our head.
It'll pop into our heads for our characters. Yeah, for sure.
I'll allow that.
So hey, as a reminder, everyone who is hanging out today with us, excuse me, that's my coffee coming up. This is a viewer affected. That's the word I was looking for. Whoo, that ADHD bad. This is a viewer affected game. You can affect the game with your bitch subs and donations. Every 100 biddies here gives us a reroll. Subscribing to the channel will give us an auto crit with 6-point stunts, that's what a crit is in this game essentially. And if you donate $5 or more, you can give us either potions or focus points, whatever you want. That'll help us out. Potions cost money, and focus points are levels up. And if you donate $10 or more, you can create an NPC, which we did do 2 weeks ago. We did get a donation for an NPC, so that is something that can happen. So it's just their name, their race, their class, and there's not a lot of limits on there. Like clearly, like as long as it can kind of sort of fit in the Dragon Age world. But we did have a kobold named Cheez-It, so there is that. But yeah,
I'm open to all things.
that's us. That's what we do, and let's play some Dragon Age, nerds. Let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
I was just listening to Eat Spit to get me
Fair.
get me in the mood for the game.
Yeah.
Biddies!
Biddies.
Biddies!
Mm-hmm.
It's a reroll for
Right.
everyone.
Oh yeah. What do you think? Yeah.
I am
Y'all
generous.
need-
What can I say?
Yeah, y'all need to stop giving me rerolls, or I am gonna start using these things, and y'all won't be happy.
It's never gonna come back to bite us in the butt ever.
Never, of course.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely not saving them all up for something.
Oh, man.
Whoops.
Okay. Last session, the group recovered from their ordeal on the river. They took some time in Starkhaven to stock up a bit. Arlen had a fumble socially, but managed to obtain a gift for his lady love. Robin managed to acquire some royal elf fruit, finally. Ophelia showed off her wealth with grapes and ice, of all things, on her own boat, as one does.
Grapes
Because
and ice.
money. Yeah. Bella opened up to the group about what they all might find in Antiva and some people who blame her for the death of one of their own. We eventually arrived in Antiva City, which smells sometimes really lovely, salt water mixed with spice and wine, and sometimes just mold and piss. Any other big cities by the sea, it's what they do.
Yeah.
They headed to the estate of Ophelia's deceased relative, Uncle Rizzo, who's been up to some naughties. He's
Uncle
also
Rizzo got Riz.
Uncle Rizzo
he got Riz and resurrected back to. Has been, well, we're not sure what's happening. He may be walking around though, as one does. Everything seemed very untouched in this estate. For quite a long time, in fact, there was a healthy layer of dust on things. But some things had been moved and maybe even taken from his office. Most notably were some letters left over from a person named Chimera Vondas that seemed very familiar. And it seems, as well, that she had been seeking to learn how to place a spirit of the deceased back into their body. The latter letters, while not necessarily confirming it, do seem to suggest that perhaps there's a chance she may have learned some trade secrets from the Navarans. This was 30 years ago, one can only presume, and he did die a few decades ago. And what has happened since, we're not sure. What nefarious purposes might that have been for? I guess we'll find out. We are starting still in the estate. We've found some things in this office. There's obviously the whole estate that you could explore if you wish. You may want to go further into the city. You may want to rest and see if there's anything left in the wine cellar. What y'all doing, everybody?
There's a wine cellar, you say?
Well, you don't know. You've not looked. He
In that
was
case-
real wealthy in a city which one of their main exports is their wine. I feel like there might be.
I mean, I'm gonna be looking around. I'm going to be exploring. The place sounds safe. I mean, we haven't been jumped by anything, so I'm gonna just casually walk around every room to see if what I find.
How spooky is this mansion?
On a scale of 1 to that creepy thing that was in the Orlesian countryside,
Mhm.
there's an air to it. There's definitely there's a vibe that you're getting, Robin. You
A
don't tend to
vibe.
get the same vibes as other people because you, as a dwarf, are cut off from magic, cut off from dreams.
Mhm.
Usually, wonky vibes in a place are not necessarily felt by you, but there's
Yeah.
definitely something
Yeah.
that you're feeling, which, well, you can roll a cunning roll if you like to figure that out.
Maybe
do
I
you
can.
have Do you have a focus you would like to borrow that you would use to figure out what's going on here?
Let's check on those cunning rolls, what we got.
It may tie to dwarven stuff and dwarven culture if you have something related to that.
I do have cultural lore.
Roll that cultural lore.
I do got the cultural lores. It's a 14 on the cultural lores.
Get some lore.
14.
Okay. You're not sure what the exact vibe is of this place that's giving you the bad vibes, but you do know that the thing that your people may be prone to feeling out is lyrium related, because it's not magic or the fate or dreams that necessarily fuck with y'all, but you can get a sense when there's lyrium.
Got a little bit of that stone sense going.
Yeah.
The
Our mage is
foreshadowing
definitely feeling some.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you're feeling a lot in here. But in
Yeah.
terms of spookiness, I'd say, it's dark. This place hasn't been used for a very long time, and you have learned enough to know that this is connected to a dead relative. As to what did Ophelia give you guys the full skinny on him? I forget.
She explained like the basics, like who he was, and that he didn't win the prelate position, and then he died shortly after, and
Then he escaped.
yeah.
So bodies walking around when they're dead is not natural, so I imagine that adds to the spooky factor.
Yeah.
Are we just kind of like in the foyer? Like, where?
I was about to say
in his
that,
study,
yeah.
it sounds like we're in his
Okay.
formal study.
Yeah.
Because Ophelia went to the study, and some of you guys went up to assist with that. So
Yeah.
it's up to yourselves if you've branched off into other places. But the whole place is open for exploration.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Bella would probably go and explore a little bit and see what rooms there are, and like if he had any, I don't know, other.
Oh yeah, this
weird
is a
stuff.
full mansion. Like I
Yeah,
imagine
she's
that.
got rooms to explore.
Yeah.
Here.
Imagine it's fully furnished still. It's just probably like musty and dusty.
Yeah.
She would love to be able to tell Ophelia if her great uncle had a sex dungeon also. So.
That'd be fun.
I'd like to see if it's possible to determine if anybody else but us have been in here recently.
Okay. So you're like doing proper a searching roll for me, please. Just to see if you can figure out any
I'm
That would be
really,
perception, right?
unless you
It's
want
a
to
perce-
do
it's
a
a perception
smelling
roll, yeah.
roll to see if you can smell.
was gonna
if
say
it-
that.
if you wanna do a smelling roll, I will tell you what you're picking up in your olfactory.
Can Andrew help him somehow? Just
Sure.
they're both sniffing at the same time.
19.
What? Look at
You
that.
know.
With a 19 roll, I will say
Smelling.
the place has the scent profile one would expect of a place that has been closed up for a very long time. That sort of dusty, musty, when fabrics look still really nice, but with enough dust and enough like little bacterial things and moths and stuff like that things might get a little crunchy in places. It's been sitting here for quite a while, so that's mostly what you're picking up scent wise as you wander around. But there are certain places, especially near where you guys kind of originated with that study, and in some other areas on this floor. You're up on the floor, like next floor up.
That's
I'm not going to
actually-
say what floor it is because I know
Yeah.
that we have different people from different sides of this Atlantic, so first floor means something very different to everyone in this call, but the floor up from the ground level.
Okay. Yeah.
You are picking up a smell that is quite strong. It's aromatic in a way, not like spices, not, I guess there's a hint of a sweetness in there, but it's something it's got warm notes to it, like when we smell things like perfumes and that, and it's got like that warmth to it. There's a warm smelling, quite sharp, not necessarily pleasant, but not unpleasant in the air that you can smell.
I'm gonna follow it with my nose, literally. I'm gonna I think we have some sharp cheddar in here.
Yeah.
And keep on going and keep on see if I can find where the smell's coming from.
Is he
Yeah.
going
It's
for
like,
cheese?
have you smelled like strong like resins and that? You know, like it's
Mhm.
got that kind of vibe to it.
Resins, okay.
Is it something that Ophelia would recognize as a tool used frequently in her profession?
Ophelia might have recognized it, yeah. Ophelia did not roll the 19 smelling check.
Right.
Maybe if he brings it to everyone's attention that he's noticed something.
He did
You
say
may
that
then be
there's
able to-
cheese to be found.
He did say there was cheese to be found. Yeah, if y'all are going on a cheese and wine hunt, absolutely. First
get
of
the
all, can I
cheese.
get those who are seeking out stuff in this house? You guys can roll a searching roll for me,
Yeah, I am actually
which is in perception.
very particularly because you mentioned it was dusty. I want to see if anywhere this dust, whether on the shelves or on the floor, has been disturbed.
That's more tracking. So if you could roll me a
Yeah.
tracking, that is also in perception. With the attention of like sharp
I'm gonna
cheeses,
reroll.
I will give you enough, Ophelia,
Much
to
better.
say that like you when paying attention to scents, it's very faint actually. It's not a very strong smell at all. He only got it because he rolled a 19, and that's like epic pass in the sliding scale of Dragon Age rolls. But it does it's reminiscent for you of the embalming fluids that are used. So the corpses that are found in the necropolis don't necessarily smell of like rotting flesh anymore. They smell very specifically and through choice. Like you will use things that counteract that smell, and that treat the skin.
Yes.
So you will recognize that smell as some of the treatments that are used for preserving the dead.
Okay, which she already knew because her last session was she knew that one of the
Because you sensed
from the
magically,
necropolis,
sensed
was
magically
here
that there
at
was
some
something
point.
here. Yeah, now
But
we're
no
also
longer.
getting the scent profiles. You can let Arlen know what that smell actually is.
Or just let me be disappointed. It's fine.
Hey, you may find some cheese anyway. Did you roll? You didn't roll a tracking. Are you gonna roll a tracking roll
I
for? No,
did.
sorry, searching
Yeah.
for it. Sorry, Arlen, if you roll searching for cheese and wine. Tracking though, yeah, you do notice that certain things have been disturbed.
Mm-hmm.
If you give enough of a check through this household, you find that the room that you guys were in the study, has very obvious and visible signs of being disturbed and things being lifted and leaving a
Mhm.
non-dusty shape. If you take your time and you're careful about it, and you find that there are there's like one wing of the house that it looks like the door handle has been turned recently, because there's been like a collection of dust on top of the sort of like round, you know, the ornate golden
Mhm.
round doorknobs, and most of them have like a little bit of dust on the top, and one of them seems to have while not completely removed, there's definitely a smudge on
I'm
the
gonna
dust.
check that doorknob. Is it locked?
It is.
Oh, that's okay. Guess what I have? Lock picking.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say a key, but I think
I was like, can Ophelia just go look for a key in the normal place Navarans might keep a key?
Yeah.
Mm. You can look for it, but I'm gonna pick that lock before you find it. Like-
Yeah. It feels like everyone's off looking for
Mhm.
Bella
various
rolled
things.
a
You can roll a
12.
few. Yeah. I'm
First
getting
thing
to the
around.
yeah. The you find the kitchen, and you find a storeroom that definitely has some stuff in there. There's not as much that has like gone moldy, which I mean you've probably cased a few houses in your time.
Yeah.
The fact that there's no like fresh produce that went moldy, it's not like this house just suddenly closed up shop and it was very well used beforehand. The things that are here are things that would store well, which implies he probably didn't come here in a more recent time, and then suddenly pegged it. You know, this is very much a holiday home. It's not used every day, so they probably only get fresh stuff in when there is somebody who was there and living. So you just find, you know, grain and some flour and like bags of beans and stuff like that. You probably do find a few rolls of cheese, which for like the proper rolls, they're probably like preserved pretty well and actually would still taste pretty good. That's a lot. It's a lengthy aging process of just sitting here. Some of them though that maybe had a slice out of them, it started to like mold into the like the bad kind. So, but you do find some cheese.
Yeah, she's looking into that. I'm going to rationalize the 12, but she's looking at things, but her mind is off elsewhere as well while she's looking at things.
She's a little distracted. Yeah. Okay, Arlen, did you roll for? Can you roll for looking for things? I think you were looking for the wine cellar.
I was looking for cheese, so.
Yeah, well, you didn't find it.
There's no cheese.
I would have.
You found something else.
I can't wait to show Arlen this cheese.
Wait, I'm definitely trying to find the thing that I'm smelling.
Yeah. The way that this house is like there's the courtyard in the middle, and it very much creates this sort of like cube shape around it. So you probably went the opposite way of Bella. So she went in and found the kitchen with the cheese and stuff like that. You probably made it a way around to like, you guys are probably fairly close together actually, but you find a side door, Arlen, that's not locked that leads down into a lower layer below the ground level, which is the wine cellar. It looks like it's not overly stocked. Could be for multiple reasons really. But there's definitely, you know, like one wall that has maybe 10 to 15 bottles of wine there that have been gathering some dust.
You mean 9 to 14, right?
Huh?
I'm stealing a bottle.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring it upstairs.
Okay. Yeah.
But do I smell the smell down here?
No.
The search continues for something that's gonna pair well with whatever this is.
Yeah. You gotta come
taking the cheese wheel.
Do you keep going through, like, because you went almost in like a circle shape, found this door that led you downstairs. Do you keep going around the circle or do you go to head back?
I'm gonna head back so I can find them again.
Okay, so you were like this close. There's sort of like a door between the two of you. This is hilarious.
I'm picking a lock.
Pick that lock.
I'm gonna pick a lock and be like, someone tried to get into this locked door recently. Does it look like the door was also opened, or that it was and then relocked, or that no one opened it?
It would be hard to tell from this side.
Okay.
The way to tell that is once you get into the other side, you would see the disturbance of dust on the floor.
Oof, an 11. I'm gonna reroll.
Okay.
Perfect. 16.
16 is better. Yeah. So you get in there. When you open up the door, it does look like the door was opened. The last time someone was here. As you head into the room, I just want to double check what Ophelia is doing right now.
She's continuing to go through the study with a fine-tooth comb to find any other information about this this woman that my uncle possibly had an affair with, this Kamara, who might be a Tevinter agent, magister, whatever.
Yep.
Would that be an investigation role?
It would be, yes. Yeah. Roll an investigation roll. Okay. And are you looking through personal correspondence to figure out that personal connection, or are you going into other things to find out information about her?
So there was that stack of letters which we gleaned that she might have been to Vinter and was looking for that particular information. I'm looking more for like where she might, her last known location. Was she in, Antivan City? Was she in Tevinter? Did they meet up here? Did they meet up there? Because I knew that he went to Tevinter every now and again. any form of that, and maybe any registers, because I had evidence that he might have been involved with the merchant princes at one point. I might have trouble with them.
Yes.
So just kind of tying up loose ends before I try to track him down magically. That will probably lead me away from the estate, I imagine.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you for a perception searching roll. Nice. And then do they have like, I guess loosely speaking it's navigation. Can you roll me it's in cunning. I can't imagine you have navigation, but it's the closest thing I can think of to figure out locations and what have you.
Yeah, all I have is research under there.
That's fine.
Oh, do you want me to roll research?
I mean, I guess it's no, that's fine. You can research after I give you intel. I'm gonna hop over to Val. I really want cheese as well, guys. Okay, so you get in and you are in, it appears, personal suite. This was, it looks like bedroom, it looks like there was a bathroom off to the side, a walk-in closet. So just the very much personal space of the owner. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm in the person. Is there light? Is the only light coming in through where I opened the door? Like I mean I'm a dwarf. I live underground. The dark doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I'm pretty good at navigating the dark. But
yeah.
Does the
there's some light coming in from windows that probably helps illuminate things a bit. Yeah.
Kind of like once again, like what is the most disturbed other than like the where the door would have opened, like what is like the most disturbed
tracking for that, please, which is in perception.
Yup. It's the kind of rogue I am, actually.
Yeah.
Just a little hunter dwarf. 12.
Okay.
Woof.
It's a little harder to tell in this room. I imagine there are pretty plush rugs in places here, which makes it harder to, because it's harder to track dust movements just purely off of a rug.
But there are dressers.
There are dressers. Well, there's a couple pieces of furniture here, but the dressers also do. There's like a proper walk-in closet. That door is sitting open, actually. Whereas the door to the bathroom looks, well, what you presume to be the bathroom is closed.
Door to the bathroom closed. Walk-in closet is open. I'm gonna go to the closet and peek in.
Okay. You peek in. This is much darker. There's not really a lot of light in here. It does look like there's a couple like sconces on the wall that could be lit, but it's pretty dark in here. Not that it necessarily impedes on what you're doing, but it makes it a little harder to see things, fine details at least. You can see a few like wardrobes, like proper closet spaces, chests of drawers, and like one of those vanity things for like sitting and making yourself look nice. Yeah. There's a few bits and pieces out on the vanity cave.
Like clothing?
No, it's like there's very neatly put together and presented bottles of what you can assume are like smelling oils and perfumes, and then there's a few other things that look like they are just like some coal for the eyes. Like it's just bits and pieces on here for making yourself presentable, which, you know, like your typical your typical person may not necessarily have all these beautiful smelling things and makeup necessarily, because you, as far as you were able to pick up, he wasn't necessarily married. You're not sure actually.
I'm gonna kind of, being that this is also my specialty, kind of go and look at these oils and perfumes I would know if this was typical of a living person or someone who is dead, like trying to not to cover up. So is it for yeah, that's what I'm
what
trying
would
to
you
determine.
like to roll for that? I'll let you barter with this because I would feel like it's something that you should roll for. Yeah, that'll be part of it. There's other things you can pick up.
Let's see, there's evaluation,
but you can evaluate.
navigation, natural lore, enchantment, writing, cultural lore, cinema. Just kind of looking at what I have.
Yeah. I'll take an evaluation just now.
Cool. 13 on the evaluation.
Okay. It all seems to be things that you would use when you were alive. You're not sure. There's nothing here that you would specifically use only if you were dead.
Can I tell which one was used last?
That's either it's not really interview people. Searching. Perception.
14.
Okay. There is one bottle that appears like it was opened last. But as you look at the bottles more closely, you actually find that there is, and this is something that you would notice, the types of chemicals that are found in these things will depreciate over time and may evaporate slightly. Now, lidding them does help matters. There's certain ways of lidding that will keep them, like bottom container in the condition of which you put them in for like hundreds of years if needs be. The way that these crystal ones work, there's been a little bit, you can see like a residue at the top layer, which suggests that there used to be more, and it started to like evaporate away, for lack of a better term. So while it was opened, it doesn't look like it was necessarily used.
I'm gonna lift up that bottle.
It's
and smell it.
Scent. Yeah, it's a scent. It is.
Does it smell like lyrium?
No. No, it does not smell like lyrium. It's quite fresh, masculine, more masculine leaning scent. It's quite this is actually really well made. You can tell from the scent. You'll probably able to pick out a few of the ingredients that are in there. So this was high quality stuff.
Okay.
Old, but high quality.
I'm gonna.
But it is simply an oil for putting on.
I'm gonna put it down. Just kind of give a quick glance around the closet, take it in, and then go where the bathroom door is closed. Does it open in or out?
It opens out.
Has it been opened recently?
No.
Okay. Is it locked?
No.
I'm gonna open it.
Okay. Very grand bathroom. One of those proper like claw-footed tubs. It's fairly simplistic, actually, as grand bathrooms go. You know, the interesting thing about this place is because it's just a holiday home, and it's for someone who wasn't Antivan. It's actually relatively light on the ridiculousness. It's not like Orlesian, you know, because they are.
They're French.
We all know Orlesian is. Yeah. It's Baroque. If it ain't Baroque, don't fix it. But no, there's nothing in here of note. The one thing I will give you your takeaway with your investigation here, you don't get the sense that there's much else to figure out in this room, but I will let you. You will know that smell again if you smell it.
Oh, the lyrium? In the bathroom?
No, the potion.
Oh, the potion.
No.
Gotcha.
You will the scented oil was a very notable scent, and if you smell it again, you'll recognize it.
I will I will close the bathroom door. Be like, well, that's nice. And I will leave this room, close it, not lock it, and go find Ophelia and be like, somebody's been in your uncle's room and locked it. before we came here, but like not before he died, because there's a lot of dust. So somebody with a key or really good lock-picking skills that could relock it has been inside your uncle's bedroom. How do I know this? I broke into your uncle's bedroom.
She'll just raise an eyebrow as she looks up from the ledgers and paperwork. She's like, oh, that was probably him, considering walking around somewhere.
Right. He didn't use the bathroom, though. I'd
I
imagine
imagine he wouldn't need to.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, do the dead eat?
No.
How
No,
do
they
they
don't.
get their energy to move if they don't eat? Like, where do they get their nutrition from?
Nutrition, they're dead.
Right,
Magic.
right, but it's still a body. Like,
Yeah.
is it just magic moving the body? Is that the only energy that...
Well, some magic, some spirit.
Did you shoot it with
Combination
a
of
lightning bolt?
things.
Like,
I'm sorry, what?
did you shoot it with a lightning bolt? Like...
No, that would fry the corpse.
I mean, not necessarily. You could probably, like, wire it. I don't know. Like, listen.
Wire it?
Yeah. Like, with metal.
How odd.
Yeah, you know what? Dwarven innovation. It's a little over all of our heads. like
Interesting.
copper is very useful, is all I can say.
I'll have to ask you about that before we head back. Sounds like a
head
very
back.
interesting conversation.
I mean, you could just come to Ozamar now that you're just, but you need to go with the dwarf because they don't like people.
Good to know.
Like the dwarves are very especially the Osmar dwarves are just, they're a little xenophobic.
Ah.
Yeah. But for those of us who have traveled outside into the real world, it's like, we're fine with other people. But like sometimes it's just like, surface dwellers. Rah, 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 rah. Don't understand our ways of life. We're always Legion of the Dead. Like, first line of defense. Kind of. And they're all very grouchy. I think it's just from the lack of sunlight, to be honest with you.
See.
Yeah, they're missing essential things. Every time I come home, like, they're just like, where'd you get that tan? I'm like, outside.
They'll be worried that you'll fall up into the sky.
Yeah, luckily, I don't believe I'll fall up into the sky. I was actually born on the surface, so, traveling merchants and all that.
Naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Ophelia,
Yes.
your roles from your research.
Yes.
You did discover a couple things. And I'm going to ask you to, well, I'll see what your line of questioning is, and you may want to roll further. As you look into the sort of like return address part of these letters, it seems that the vast majority of them were sent from Minrathus, which maybe isn't terribly much of a surprise. And occasionally there's a little cluster of them that come from Carastes, which is would you know that? I don't know. It's somewhere else in Tevinter.
Right.
And that's certainly what you're able to pick up on from the letters here specifically. Would you have been pouring through research on anything other than just the letters? Are you going into the books or just sticking to...
Yeah, all of his
Trail.
paperwork, so the proper ledgers and all of those other correspondence that he may have had in case
Yeah.
he tucked things away.
Yeah. There is there's one old ledger, and maybe that's all there was, you're not sure, that does have notes of trade and getting in resources here in Antiva City from various merchants, not just for the household, but also for his own personal things. You will recognize some of the things that he's buying in are things that are commonly used in Navarra for your various magics. There is every now and again, and the dates all cluster, so you can tell that this is only when he is staying here, and there's maybe like a couple years between each visit, where there are purchases of stocks of lyrium. Not large scale that looks like he was doing anything powered by lyrium, probably simply his own magic. Like, that's the amount that's like personal stash. Like when you look at it, drugs, like whether it's personal stash or whether you deal in, this was just personal stash.
Okay.
But did have a contact in the city, it seems, who he would buy his lyrium from.
Is there anything that would suggest that Kimara would come to stay with him? Any items that might be identified for feminine use? I'm looking at whether or not she came here, or I already know that he made trips there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Romy, if you have a focus that you feel that you want to bar that this is using, go right ahead. This is perhaps, is this an evaluation roll? I guess it kind of is. Or investigation.
I have investigation.
Yeah, you can roll investigation. 14. Oh, with 4 stunts. That's pretty good. I will honor the stun points and say, there is one of the cluster of dates where he is ordering things in, not the others, however, where there is perhaps things that you might recognize as not his usual things that he orders in, and also double the amount of lyrium.
Was it the last visit, or was it like long
Second
ago?
to last.
Second to last visit.
So like long ago in that it was like before he actually died, and so a couple years before his last visit, just before he died.
Okay. So it stands to reason that he was probably seeing her a lot more than she was coming to see him.
Yes,
Okay.
quite possibly. Or at least a healthy amount of it was perhaps through letters. Or there's also the chance she had somewhere else to stay.
That's true.
You're not sure.
That's true.
There are several things that could be true.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But those are things that you had found out prior to this conversation with Robin. I imagine you guys can all congregate when one of you returns with cheese and one of you returns with wine. I imagine there's like a moment where like Arlen's going back the way to try and find people, like wine bottle in hand, and then we'll come upon Bella.
Just trying to carry this giant wheel of cheese. Oh.
We need her some crackers and some grapes.
Well, you have grapes, don't you?
Right.
I
We
didn't
have grapes right
grab
there.
any from the
Looked at
ship and
wine
just
bottle.
like. Didn't Rylan have a whole bunch of grapes?
He did get a big sack of grapes. You guys may have eaten them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you get someone
frozen
stoned
grapes?
enough, they will go through a sack of
Of anything.
hydrating.
Any preserved meats?
Not really. There was flour and beans and grains, like stuff that would preserve if you're not here often.
There were grains?
Grains? Yeah.
Oh, I heard
Grains.
brains.
No, grains with a G. No.
A Navarran
I would not be
delicacy.
speaking so casually if it was grains.
Robin, like, sticks her pinky in her ear and, like, am I just getting old? like flicks some wax at him. Like,
It happens. It
Yeah.
happens. Yeah.
Arlen, I'll trade you this cheese for half of this cheese for 2 bottles of wine.
I've only got the one though.
What the hell? You can carry like, is there only one in there?
No, there's plenty more. I just didn't want to start stealing from.
We're staying here. We're not stealing. He's dead.
Is he
He's
dead?
undead.
Still
What?
dead.
But Ophelia did tell me that like he doesn't have to go to the bathroom, and he doesn't need vitamins. So I'm assuming he
Yeah, he's
doesn't
not
need
going
to drink.
use it.
All right, hold my wine,
Hold my
Hold
wine.
my way.
and I'm gonna go and run
Yeah.
across the house to the other
I like that
side.
you go the long way, all the way around to find the door.
You know, okay, well,
I'm gonna come back with as many bottles as I can carry.
Probably quite a lot. You a big man.
So is this
I
what
am.
we're just doing? Are we just having cheese and wine for lunch in a dead man's house? Like while he's probably walking around for all we know.
Oh, he's heard me at this point.
well, listen. I'm going to be honest. He's probably not here,
Okay, I mean,
and this is going to be our central point of gathering. We might as well get comfortable, find a room, eat some food.
Ophelia will be also sharing the information with Robert, who always knows everything anyway. She just kind of getting it off of her chest,
Yeah.
soundboarding off of her spirit friend.
Interesting, isn't it?
Did you guys find anything interesting?
I found his bedroom. Somebody was in it.
Okay.
Wait, someone was in it?
Like,
Like, when
okay,
alone?
like nobody was in the room when I went there, but it was clearly like used before we came here, but after he died. But Ophelia is just telling me that it most likely was just dead him using it.
Yeah, didn't we deduce
Yeah.
that he was here before at some point?
Like that being said, he didn't
Possibly.
really like use any of his like perfumes and stuff. Like I found like in his closet there was something that was opened but not used because there was like a shit ton of. Actually, can I just like retcon that I just brought that bottle down with me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'll just like pull
Okay.
the bottle out and be like, this stuff, like it was opened, but no one used it, and there's some stuff in it.
Going to smell it.
It's very pungent.
Smells really nice. Yeah. It's
Ophelia,
Fresh.
is this something
It's a lot.
like of you? Do you know what this is?
Yes, we have one of those bottles at the necropolis for him. We use it regularly.
you would know that it is his scent of choice.
His signature scent, yeah.
Is it like
Yeah.
his dead scent or his living scent?
Oh, while he was alive, but we try to honor their wishes after they die.
It's
If
a
they
Okay.
very pungent
Want to scent?
smell.
Yes.
It's almost like it was opened but not used. Like it has been used clearly because it's evaporated and there's stuff. There's residue.
All right.
Can I just
Oh.
insight why someone would just
Why that
go-
might be.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I feel like there's something there, but my brain can't do it, so I want you to tell me what it is.
Mhm.
Insight is in
It's in perception. It's empathy is what it's called.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Empathy. 16.
Ooh.
Grandmother. The likelihood is, given what you've been able to piece together so far, that he seems to have come back here, whether willingly or unwillingly, you guys still aren't sure.
Mhm.
And things that were very personal and pertinent to him have been moved and disturbed. And so to go in there and smell that particularly, there's something in it that's almost like maybe it was out of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Or just wanting to kind of, if this is a scent that, is particularly important to him, maybe he needed to smell that. Or maybe it was someone else and they wanted to figure that out.
Maybe,
Reminisce.
yeah, maybe somebody was just somebody. I mean, him. It could have been him trying to just relive his existence when he was living. like just to kind of bring some semblance to that since it's familiar, or it could have been somebody that was trying to remember him.
Maybe.
Didn't he have a girlfriend, you said? Or a boyfriend?
Imara may have been his lover. It's unclear.
Who's Kimara again? Sounds like a lion.
She appears to be from Tevinter. She was looking for information on our secrets. The Mortalitasi.
Oh.
Well, that's
Had
not
on-
concerning at all.
So
It is very concerning. It is very concerning.
So he was sleeping with a Mortalitasi. No, he's a Mortalitasi.
She was likely a magister.
And she's a
or
magister.
an agent of a magister.
Listen, a lot of you mages, you all start with M's, and there's a lot to go through, okay?
Imagine
Take a
like,
different
it's
letter.
hard,
Yeah.
it's hard to keep. Okay, so so the Hellraise Year mage, which is a very useful, very neutral mage, grandfather, was most likely sleeping with a Tevinter, someone working for Tevinter, who did he know that she was, how do we know she was Mortalitasi? Did he know she was?
he wasn't. She's not Mortalitasi.
That's the wrong one.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Mortalitasi is what
Magister.
Ophelia is.
Yes,
Yeah.
Magister. Yes, I told you, too many M's.
I get it. It's very
Mhm.
confusing.
I do not know if he knew that she might have been Tevinter. I gleaned it from the way that she was writing.
There is something to point out, mostly to you, Ophelia. I don't know if any of you other characters have a reason to have a strong awareness of, incisive awareness of, that's a callback. Season 1, baby!
Ooh.
I have a familiarity with Tevinter and how it works and their ranks and their people and who's famous there and what have you, but
I mean,
certainly
I
to
feel like
Ophelia.
Bella might like a vague, because it's right next to Antiva. Just
Yeah.
vaguely know about Tevinter, and like they're
Yeah.
not good.
Enough to know the vibes, yeah. For Ophelia, Vondas is not a Tevinter name, which could mean two things. Maybe she and her family are not actually traditionally Tevinter, and she was just raised around that sort of like habit, and that's why she write the way that she write, and the cultural notes you were picking up in the letters. Or that might not be her real name.
Right.
Two things may be possible. Maybe there's more threads, but those two are the most obvious.
Do you remember what she
Perhaps
looks like?
something to look into. Should have never met her. These are
Never
only
met her.
simply
Okay.
letters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Ophelia would like to search her uncle's room before they go to see if there's anything else that appears to be missing. She can't glean what that thing is, just like the box that's missing from the study, but
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
see if items have been taken.
You can roll another searching.
I took the bottle.
Oh, his bedrooms, you mean, not his personal rooms.
Yeah.
Bedrooms.
I suppose I should also ask, does he have a workroom? Like, he has his study with his books and his ledgers, business of business, but
yeah.
does he have a room in which he was doing his craft, his magic here? I know he had one back home.
Okay. Couple things, and I'm gonna very much honor the 20 with 5 stump points there. I'm aware that on stream those numbers are cut off, but those were very good rolls.
You can see the dice.
You can see the dice.
You can count to the dice. That's what's
Yeah.
important.
A couple things pop out to you while you're wandering around. It's up to you guys. Are you guys just hanging out and eating cheese and wine?
I mean,
If anyone's like still looking around, Bella would like help them or something.
Okay. So it's up to you guys if you're following Ophelia while she was doing this search. You, in his personal rooms, you find nothing is necessarily missing. at first glance, not in the bedroom at least. When you go into the closet, however, and you open them up, you note there's like occasionally coat hangers without anything hanging on them. And like that could be fairly nondescript. Like there's no reason why somebody would note that as a point of interest, but knowing your people, and certainly people who are as upper crust as he is, you would never have a spare coat hanger that didn't have something hanging on it. You know what I mean? You would have all manner of things, certainly with the station that he had, which implies that there are perhaps pieces of clothing that have been taken. As to what they were, you're not sure, because all it is the empty coat hangers. So you notice that. You will also notice, however, there's like a section towards the back end that has like a full-length mirror. And while you're looking around, you get that sort of like, you know, that taste of magic on the air. A little closer to the edge of this, and you realize that the mirror is sort of like a secret door. One of those ones where if you like pushed on it, it does that little like click to unlock it.
Yeah.
And it pops out enough for you to get your fingers around and open it up. And it does reveal a small room, which it's not a big grand workplace that you would have in a home back in Navarra, where the sort of practice can have all of the room and the, you know, the affordance of space. I mean, some people probably have like multiple rooms just for this kind of stuff. But he utilized this space for study. You can see that there are still lyrium potions here. There are also various tools and substances and what have you that you recognize as the tools of your craft here.
Are the lyrium potions still good?
Yeah, lyrium doesn't really necessarily diminish unless it's like been popped. Like if you uncorked it, I imagine maybe there'd be some depreciation to it, but nah, lyrium's always good.
Raw or processed potions?
Processed potions. I would say probably like in the tools of the trade, there's maybe a little box that you open up that has like little chunks of some raw lyrium. Not much, but small pieces.
How many potions, and can I take them?
Yes, you can take them, and I would say 2 regular and 1 potent.
Okay. Is there, other than the tools, is there anything in here, maybe like notes or what he was working on?
No.
Okay. This is just where he did his work when he was here. So it did nothing out of the usual what I would notice from usual work.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Good.
All right. Can she ask Robert if he senses anything odd? If he could sense anything from his fade ability? If he's just like, cool,
sure. Roll me just a magic roll. I guess spirit, if you have the skill of spirit focus.
I do.
So you're rolling for him, basically.
Okay. Would that just add 2 since I have spirit?
Yes, yeah, just click on spirit and it'll add it automatically. Ooh.
My first roll was better.
Yeah, I didn't do it. What does he note? One thing I will say, my dear, you're doing brilliantly, by the way. Just doing so good.
Oh, well, thank you, Robert.
Quite proud, really. I do not believe our, the practice, the actual, thing that you do He's saying that as if you can figure out hand gestures, but they're implied
Got
in
no
what
hands.
he's saying. Yeah. I do not believe that ever took place here.
Oh, so he did not actually perform our craft here, he just had it in case?
Yes, I expect so. Unless he was
Interesting.
demonstrating.
Ah, interesting. Good to know.
Yes. Quite.
Thank you, Robert. I think that's
Do
all
let
we-
me know if I can be of use. And he's like, whew, just does a little loop to loop and starts floating around again. So you guys will see her kind of going in. You see the figuring out the spare room, whoever went with her, and the skull, the little flaming skull, floating around and doing little loop-de-loops, it seems.
So, secret letters, secret rooms, secret going-ons.
Oh, it was probably only made secret because we are not in Navarra in case an Antivan came to investigate the home. Nothing unusual here. This is all normal tools that we use.
Tell me, do they keep all their organs when you magically mummify them?
They are preserved, but naturally over time they do decompose. So they are replaced with filler to keep them upright.
So it's like almost attaching a soul to like a doll in a way.
Yes. Robert did mention that he could possess Finch at one point if he wanted to hear him, but it seemed odd.
That seems invasive.
Yeah, I just
But that is usually how one hears spirits. They must possess something and be able to project.
Makes sense.
So,
make sure
are you saying-
that he asks Finch before he does anything. Though.
Oh, yes. No, he would never do anything without
Oh, I would never. Consent is very important.
He's offended that we would even say he would do such a thing.
So does that mean that if Robert possesses me, and then I'll start hearing him or them?
Hearing him, he'll be talking through you. It's an experience.
Oh, but after the fact, I won't be able to see or talk to them, right?
Oh, we can see him. He's right there.
Okay, I forget about that part, but I know the part about hearing is.
I don't know, Robert. Would possessing a person allow them to hear you indefinitely?
I've never tried, my dear.
Oh, says he's
Not
never
normally.
tried. Do you want to try, Arlen?
I'm
May
gonna
I take notes?
swig, put it down. All right, let's do it.
Bill's just
What's the
leaning
worst
against
going
the
to happen?
wall, seeing where this goes.
Gets
Is
out
he
her
really
notebook.
going to is he trusting me to possess his body?
Apparently.
Oh, that's rather unusual for the living non-mage.
I agree.
So, come.
What? If he's sure.
He seems sure.
All right. And Arlen, you just see the skull sort of like coming at you, and like the last thing you see is it like merging with your consciousness, and then you just kind of aren't there right now because you were being puppeted.
So
By
the same thing
Robert.
when I do the elf route, right? I just get.
So I mean, I guess, yeah,
Yeah.
you're just kind of like not fully there right now, but your body does sort of like correct itself and then look around and then
Can I? Go ahead.
speak through you.
Hello.
This is very unusual.
Bertie. Dude.
Hi.
Can my consciousness
Your
try
mouth.
to speak?
You can try to fight him, but it might push him out to do so.
Okay, no, I would try to speak. If I see that nothing happens, I'm not gonna push it.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're not fully aware of what's going on, so you're not even like necessarily hearing this in this moment. You're just somewhere else right now.
How interesting.
Hey, yeah. Starts like
He's a
flexing.
large man, yeah.
Must find it difficult getting through doors.
Sometimes. He makes do. This is really strange.
Just
Like I'm a
curiously
different
writing
man.
notes.
It is lovely to meet you, and does like a little bow and like takes your hand and kisses the back of your knuckles.
Lovely to meet you too, Robert. Wow. You're quite a gentleman.
Oh, he is always so polite.
I wouldn't know. I can't hear him. How interesting. Robin,
What?
come here,
Say please.
please.
Okay. A bottle over.
You see Arlen's body like waving at you.
Like his whole body.
Well,
Well, no, like it's his hand. He's waving at you.
You see Arlen waving at you.
Yeah.
I wave back at him.
It's not Arlen.
Stop.
Not Arlen.
Stop.
It's Bertie.
It's Birdie as Arlen.
Yeah, Arlen gave Robert permission.
Express permission.
Express permission, full consent to possess him.
Robin's gonna leave.
I knew that would be her reaction. Since I really wanted to see.
Robin's gonna leave and take the wheel of cheese with her. The whole cheese and wine. And
I think that might have scared her.
it's not that she's
Scared?
afraid. It's just she
Yeah.
does not want to deal with that.
She's
Yeah,
not really
yeah.
scared of it. It's just, dwarves don't really deal with magic, and this is a lot that she does not want to deal with right now.
Mm-mm.
So
I
just
feel
thought
like
it'd
it
be
may
funny
be
to
less
see her
magic and more an issue with the nature of the spirit.
Yeah, none of that bullshit either. Like,
He's
Welcome to
aware.
both.
It's more the spirit and the very fine line between one and a demon.
But you are not a demon, Robert.
I know, but she doesn't. It's
no,
Well, that's fair, I
no,
suppose.
I completely understand the difference between a spirit and a demon. Don't mistake that. I just
and
prefer-
Robin's just talking from down the hallway.
Yeah, like in the doorway. Do not mistake that. I know the difference, and I know that fine line. I have been to the Fade, but that doesn't mean that I have to like either one.
I mean, truthfully, if we're being honest, there isn't really actually
That
a
isn't my kink.
difference. Well, I will leave now. I feel like he might freak out the longer that he's not able to connect to himself.
It is really nice to meet you.
It's lovely to meet
Officially.
you too. Yes. Strange having vocal cords deeper than my own
Yeah.
when I was alive. It's a long time ago. Anyway.
I was like, are you us alive?
Boom. Arlen, you are back in the room.
What day is it?
It's still the same day. It's only been like a minute or two.
She's lying. It's been a whole year, Arlen. You have been like this a whole year. She just did not want to hurt your feelings, but I told her, I was like, we can't tell him. Like,
I
but,
tried. I'm sorry. I was
I know.
helping out a lot, but it's been.
Arlen, listen, your daughter needs you, and I'm just so
What?
glad that you're.
I have a daughter?
Yes, she's approximately 3 months old now. Mm-hmm.
And I'm taking off. Through the...
As soon as he takes off, I'm just cackling. Like,
This group, it seems like they rather like to, I'm sure they believe it is pranking one another. It's a fascinating practice.
You just hear.
Arlen, come back. We're joking.
Yeah, Ophelia is just like her pen is like hovering over her paper, and she's like looking between Robin and Bella, like, what?
Just wait until he gets on about whales.
Is this why he thinks I have an animal fascination?
So he met. We traveled with another mage, an elven mage, a friend of ours, and he also liked to play a few pranks in Ireland, and may have told him that he could communicate with ants and whales.
He also sent a dream into Arlen's head telling him that in order to clean his fruit, he had to hold it over his head and turn it in a circle, and he absolutely did that when he woke
He
up.
will explain that. And then he woke up, and then he took enough fruit to turn it. He was turning into. It was really funny.
Oh, I'm so glad mages can't be inside of my face.
Eventually, I come back, and
Hi, Arlen.
I don't know where we are, so I don't know how to get out of here.
Arlen, it's fine. We were just pulling your leg,
Just
friend.
messing with you, yeah.
Mhm. It's literally been like 5 minutes because as soon as I saw that bullshit, I was like, "Can we not?" Like, I know.
My question is to you, Robin, is how did you know that Shanae was with child?
Wait, are you really
Wait,
about to
what?
be a daddy?
I am about to be a daddy.
No, I'm gonna check an empathy
No,
roll to see
no,
if you're
you're
fucking
not.
lying. Like, 1 second.
do
You
that.
can roll an empathy roll, sure.
A 16.
That's
Wait,
pretty
wait,
good.
wait.
Arlen is Sinead with child.
14.
Well, we're trying.
It's
Oh,
not the
that's
same
two
thing.
different things. You haven't been home in weeks, which means you have not tried in weeks.
She might be, though.
She might be, but I know we're trying really hard.
So
Often.
So you're trying very hard and very often. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay, so
Practice does not mean.
listen, because, like, I don't know. Okay, Arlen, I don't know. But there is, like, 2 days out of a month that we can become pregnant. Well, I don't know how it is for elves. But, like,
I don't think that changes. I don't know.
yeah, I'm not quite sure,
My
like-
cycle with a dwarf.
yeah. Like, we all have, like, the same innards. So, like,
Yeah.
you gotta get it on, like, the right day. Her temperature's up.
I
like,
feel like
her butt is swollen in a way, like a baboon.
Okay.
I
Maybe
feel
we might
like
have
what's
different-
true to like just the general lore for here and the general lore for like any race that are the ones that do the occupying. Humans
Yeah.
probably are more fertile than the other races, just because
Probably,
that feels
yeah.
like it would make sense.
Humans are the most fertile of our
Yeah.
species.
Okay.
Of which Arlen is one.
That's true.
True, but
Uh,
like just because he's got strong swimmers, like the other half has to be just as strong. Yeah.
Question.
So-
are we?
My swimmers got beards and muscles.
They wear flannel and hold an axe.
Yeah.
It's like,
they
I
get
wanna
into that
get
egg
some!
no matter what.
I'm sorry, the visuals now in my head.
Someone who has artistic talent draw little sperms with a beard and an axe.
No, I gotta find a way to commission that.
Yeah.
With the audio, like do like a the animated storyboards. God, I have a fucking degree in this. Why can't I think of the word?
Mm.
The animatics of like
Yeah,
with the audio,
yeah.
just like over it.
There's a bunch going up, 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 up.
Arnica's like, my sperm can build a house. He says.
Down in Arlen's woods. Shop.
Hey.
Sorry.
Okay.
Derailed. Sorry.
Anyway,
I'm gonna take a look at Robert's. I am into his eye sockets.
no.
And can you speak to me now?
I know that logic and the lore of this world tells me that it should not, as you do not connect to the Fade in that way. But I am going to ask you, Arlen, to
Mhm.
roll a magic roll, of which I know you have no focuses in.
Oh, it's
And
terrible.
if you can get... Oh, never mind. You already rolled and it was a 5. Never mind. No, he does not. He cannot speak to you. Maybe you just need to try a few times. Who knows? I was going to give you a target number there, but a 5 is a... No.
Can I use a reroll?
Yes, and I want you to try and beat a 12.
Oof, with -1. All right, here goes nothing.
It's doable.
It is a 12 with stunt points, which I think. Meter beat?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I gave you the number 4 and you rolled it, bro.
Manifested.
We manifested that into existence. You know what? Yeah, Arlen, you do hear. Well, I don't know. Why don't I try? Do you hear me?
I'm gonna go to hug him.
Oh, he's just a floating skull. So
Just pass
it's on fire. Yeah, made of spirit. You can try and catch
Now,
him.
I'm going to put
Your
a
hands
whole
kind of
bear
go
hug,
through it.
and it just
But,
he's inside of me now.
Oh,
Oh,
that's don't say it that way.
I just
This is-
uncork the wine and
this is
Question.
unpleasant. I don't like passing through people.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna back away.
It feels funny.
Question, Ophelia.
Yes. She's furiously writing notes.
Writing notes. Do you have any objections for us staying here?
No, none at all.
Figure it's free, it's big, it's a good safe point, you know, it's relatively, gated.
Yes, I believe I offered it as our rendezvous point, place we could.
Yeah, we
Have
could probably sleep
headquarters,
here
maybe.
as well, instead of like having an inn or anything.
Sorry, what?
It might be better to just stay here instead of like staying at an inn or like.
Oh,
a
yes,
bar or
yes,
stuff
yes,
like
yes.
that. So less.
Yeah. You guys had already decided on this
Probably,
place, I
yeah.
think. Yeah.
Because Ryland's gonna meet us back here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Ophelia, you wouldn't know without studying. And you're not even sure if Robert is going to know the answer to it. But there's definitely no, like, connection to the Fade in Ireland in that he's not a mage. And you need to be a mage in order to have that connecting thread to there to obtain your magic. Perhaps because he has bodily been in the Fade, maybe that has given him a tiny little thing to tether to. And that might be what was triggered. Maybe. And that might be a bit of a crapshoot, but you know what? You're a researcher, and it's the only thing you could kind of...
That's what
Hold
she
on
put
there.
down in her notebook.
Yeah, probably.
Like, to look in for future research if someone
Yeah.
has been, through the fade.
Yeah.
Discuss,
It's normal happenstance, right?
right? Let's just start pushing people into the fade. Be like, can you talk to this spirit?
You're gonna be a
research.
mad scientist, if not already.
Okay. So we have our base of operations. We have our wine and cheese. We've done a little bit of science. And some chat. Eventually, you will. Where will you guys be kind of settling in? Are we going for like a dining room, a living space, the bedroom? Where are we settling for our?
Probably living
downtime.
room or dining space or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or whatever
Um,
sitting
if
room
it-
is available, yeah.
Yeah, there's probably a few. This is a big home.
Mhm.
You will get eventually a little knock on the door of the room that you are currently in as Rylan enters. He managed to get in here as well. I mean, he's
Yeah.
rogue's gonna rogue you.
Mm-hmm.
Without us
From
seeing
behind.
or anything.
Hi.
Hi. Oh man, the food here is just
Right.
oh, it's
a big
so
change
good.
from Heraldon food.
Yeah. Had like these grilled plantains with like some salt on it. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did
There's
you
ones that
bring
are
us anything?
fried,
Mhm.
like double fried. It's great.
How has your time been, productive.
Yeah. Found some notes.
Or let the
Ophelia
ghost
found
be
some notes.
inside of him.
Yeah, that's also true.
Mm-hmm.
Arlen got possessed.
I made a friend.
There's a dead man walking.
I found cheese.
Okay. Oh well, seems like you've been quite productive.
Try.
I've got various bits of news.
Mm.
And on that, we'll go to break, everybody.
All right. Yep. We will see y'all all in about 10 minutes, y'all. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Not. Sup nerds, we're back after our break. We had snacks and bio breaks and all that good stuff. I had a piece of cake which was like really cold.
Chocolate.
And I was like, this isn't cake. This is like a brownie that's pretending to be cake. And it was too hard for me to just eat out of the fridge, so I had to put it in the microwave for like 10 seconds. And then the icing was just far too sweet for the cake, and I don't like sugary icing, so I just scraped it off and had like a red velvet brownie instead. Like,
That sounds like quite the journey.
it was a journey.
You sound disappointed in that cake.
I
Yeah.
was. I had it last night too when I was like high as balls, but can't even hear the word cake. Ah! I was cake betrayed last night. Arnica, I'm sorry. Cake betrayal is awful. But anyway, we're
You know
back.
who never will betray you with their cake?
What?
Rylan.
Yeah.
His cake is always good.
Rylan, what
Anyway.
news does he have for us? Speaking of,
Oh, yeah.
other than his
Oh.
cake, like,
My cake? What?
mm-hmm.
Don't worry
I
about
don't-
it.
Okay. Well, did a bit of brief looking around. I haven't been able to spend like, it can take a bit of time sometimes to get the deep stuff.
Of course.
I did encounter, or at least I asked around enough to be pointed in the right direction for your old crew.
All right.
They're still around. From what I could tell, it's still led by. Let me. Alejandro. Yeah, I need to get. Where did I? There we go. Still led by Alejandro for the most part, and then they do an awful lot of work with, or at least get work from somebody named Salir, which wasn't a name you gave me, so I'm not sure what his story is. He's I mean, he is native to these parts. They say that he was gone for a little while, just about a year maybe, and has come back. Seems to be working with, or at least giving them jobs.
Okay.
I didn't go any further than that because I wanted to just at least let you know. It doesn't seem like they've necessarily spread their influence, but through him, I guess maybe there's a bit of a wider net being thrown. I don't really know what his story is yet, but I can look into that if you need, or you may wish to do the looking into.
Yeah. Do you know if he's like elven or human or?
He's elven, yeah. Yeah.
Still in the alienage or working outside of it?
Well, comes there to give them jobs. Yeah, there's not much room to go other than an alienage, unless you're going into the crows, which I don't think he is. He didn't seem to have crow affiliation, so
Yeah.
they pick up other jobs because like crows are mostly just killing, whereas they do things like thieving and what have you. So there's him. I'm not sure what more is going on there, but that's up to yourself how you want to guide that. I did manage to get in touch with Moira, the contact we were told about, and I did approached to just introduce myself and say, that I was recommended to get in touch with her if I needed. So I didn't push for the details of exactly why, because again, that's really your lead on how you want that handled. But I have made contact, and she knows that I'm here, not just myself, but that we may wish to use her connections with the illustrious crows.
What was their reaction to that?
impression I got, it's not like we're the first people that have ever been sent to her for that kind of thing. Maybe because I didn't tell her who I was looking for or who I was here with. Maybe meant that it just seemed like a Tuesday for her, you know? Just she was open to it and said she would be happy to direct me as necessary should we require the hiring of information from the crows. I believe that's all you were wanting from me. Other than that, I just kind of scoped out the place. Everything seems as you
Delicious.
might expect. There's definitely a lot of very delicious things in this city. There's the usual rumblings we've seen all over the place, what with there being a whopping great hole in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. I think I might need to pay a visit to my old alienage.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, there's people I would love to see again.
Okay.
Maybe some I don't.
You have family here?
You live in the alienage's family.
Huh?
Blood related? No, not really. But I need to find out who this Lear is. If any of the elders there know him. And see if I can get in contact with a few other people who used to be in the information game then. I still need to inquire about this merchant prince that hurt a few of our close loved ones, and she's looking at our one.
Sorry, you broke up a little bit on my side here. Can you say that again?
Yeah. I need to look into this merchant prince that hurt a few of our loved ones.
I would love to accompany you if I can.
Are we making a game plan for that? Are we taking limbs?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Is limbs codes for something, or is literally chopping up arms and legs?
Yeah,
I
literally
work
just.
of a basis of you get what you give.
I mean,
Eye for
if
an eye, that's how they do it here.
yeah, and I mean, here's the thing: if you really want to enjoy it, you take it one joint at a time.
You're dark, I love it.
Ophelia, can I have some
Yeah,
paper,
you
please?
do.
I need to take notes.
So you
She's
start
looking between each of you, and she just hands a piece of paper over to Arlen.
I mean, if we
Yeah.
want to talk to anyone about how to detach limbs in a very surgically precise way, I mean, we now have
It's true.
an expert.
I
Right.
mean,
Do you guys have to chop up the bodies? Do you know how to, like, you know, I mean, imagine if you know how to attach it again.
Yes.
And with this, at least you have anatomical knowledge.
Yes.
But you know, when you're working with a live subject, sometimes if you get this wrong, you get this wrong, and you try again.
Oh, right. This may be particularly dark. Let me know if I need to reel it in. I've consumed a lot of sugar today. What if we kill him, and then this one, like, you do your thing, and you get the spirit back into the body, you reanimate, and then we kill him again?
Wouldn't that be blasphemy?
Like, according to who?
Yeah, according to who?
Blasphemous
Not
against
my-
what?
Not my god.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
It may be Ophelia's, but
Fair.
exactly.
How exactly would you plan on killing him again? You can
Again,
stab him as much as you want. He isn't going to die. You could cut off his head. He'd still talk to you.
Oh, I mean, I don't want that. I think
That
once
is-
dead, it's dead.
that's going to be too much trouble.
what if we cut out his tongue
Worth
and vocal
for that
cords,
person, trust
and
me.
then put his head back on?
But at least we are going to gift him the gift he gave us back.
So at the very least, taking his dominant arm
Yes.
and I'm not sure what particular payment you're wanting to repay upon him, Bella, for what he did to Marius. Chop off his dick?
Listen,
I
I
want
actually
you all
have.
to understand that Marius is my brother. He is the only person that's meant something to me for the longest time. I took care of that boy. I raised him. And that man's going to receive 10 times what he did to Marius.
Lovely.
Listen, I have a suggestion. Sure, cutting off somebody's dick is like terrible, but if you want him to just like suffer for the rest of his life, remove his big toes.
Oh, now you won't ever be able to
Can we
walk
not do
straight
both?
properly.
Why not both?
Yeah, both of it are both. But just think about like you'll like think about relearning how to walk, like and just always falling over. On top of like he will have one arm and none of his big toes, like
That's rough.
and probably not his dick. Like, yeah, just cut off some big toes. Just it'd be really hard. Like, here's the thing: you would still be alive, but what are you good for with only one good arm and no big toes?
I don't know. I mean, all these things are fun, but if he's a merchant prince, there are other ways to really get him where it hurts.
We should take his vocal cords out too.
I mean, all I have is an axe, so all this seems to require something a bit more precision.
I appreciate how enthusiastic everyone is, but don't worry, Arlie. We'll come up with a plan.
Listen, just sometimes like not murder is just really sometimes better than murder.
I don't want the man to be dead.
Exactly.
I want him to remember everything he ever did.
I mean,
for the rest of his life, every waking second of every day, he will remember my face.
as much as I want to insert my axe into his skull and leave it there, he did deprive me of a very important person for the rest of my life. And I'm not going to do the same thing to him because that would just be... That wouldn't be the right thing to do.
We should find his wife.
But
You can take his hand
no.
like you took Sinead's hand.
I think
Yes.
if we want to hit a merchant prince, we need to financially destroy him. I mean, he could just be pushed around in a wheelchair and, you know, like, still get to relish in all of his riches.
We should
I
steal
like
his money.
this.
All of it.
I'm going to
Or shame him, you know, like a big public
Mentally.
humiliation.
physically, emotionally, and financially ruin this man.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all the lead that we can think of.
Nice. All right.
I'm pretty sure Ophelia's like, who did
What have I got myself into?
I am a necromancer, and these people, like,
Yeah.
Are truly out there.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's just quietly looking to each of them like, why are we talking about this?
because it's fun.
We've not given her context about what this guy
Right,
did.
she just knows that you guys are gonna go
Yeah.
torture some man.
Yeah.
For context, this man, a merchant from here, my brother Marius, he used to work here in a brothel, and I had met some people in around, I would say, were we around Kirkwall? I believe so.
Yeah.
And we did them a favor, and their favor to us was to go and bring my brother to me, to Highever, so we could be together again and I could take care of him again. Unfortunately, this man did not like my brother leaving. And not only did he wound my brother, but he took the hand of Arlen's partner, Sinead.
Oh. I did not know. I see. And so the goal is to do to him what was done to your brother and Arlen's wife?
The goal to him is for him to never forget my face ever in his entire life.
Well, I could merely burn it into his brain.
No, I want every little thing that he does, every breath, every movement, every step that he takes to remind him of what he did.
Okay.
I want him to be ruined in every way, shape, or form. And I'm not going to stop.
As you wish.
But for that, we need more information on him. I know his name. I will talk to a few people who I know used to work the information game when I was here. Not associated with my old crew. And I'll see where they are. If anything is how I think it is, they'll probably still in the alien edge. But we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I will have to go there, set up a few plans, meet a few people, speak to a few others. We'll leave Moira for last, and she'll look to Rylan.
Gotcha.
What time of day is it?
It's really pretty late at night. You guys got into the city when it was getting on for evening, so pretty late.
Why don't we rest for the night? And I'm going to head out tomorrow. You're all free to come with me. But I will give you my part of my job here is going to involve the crows. And I have no doubt they already know who we are, and if I get entangled with them in a not so great way, you will all be the first target they go for.
Oh no, not another assassin group after me. Like, that's like in character. And just, giving you a grin, like, Robin's always got your back. It's fine. Like,
I don't say this to discourage you, Robin, just so you know what you're getting into.
To be fair, and like makes gestures at companions, is they've got, here's the thing. I could just run off into the forest and be a vagabond with Bella. Like, that's not an issue. I don't have possible pregnant wives or anything like that. And my child is here. 2 of them anyway.
Yeah. I won't judge you if you want to stay behind. Because we are on their turf. We're in the heart of their city. And everything we do, we have to operate with knowledge that they already know. And are 3 steps ahead. And I do not say this lightly. There's a reason why they have the reputation that they do.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty serious stuff. They quite literally kill kings.
So.
They're very exciting, though.
Here's the thing. We're not just having cheese for dinner, though, right? I mean,
no.
We should.
I can probably get a loaf of bread. We can make some amazing grilled cheese.
Probably get some groceries.
Some grilled cheese sandwich. This grilled cheese sandwich. Sorry, my Tom Green was coming out. Yeah, no. I mean, I think, like, we could use... This is a fishing port, right? We should go find some shrimps.
What's that?
Shrimp?
Shrimp.
You've never had
I don't think so.
You'll find out.
Okay, but before you eat shrimp, we're gonna, like, rub it on your face first, okay?
Like, rub the shrimp on my face?
Yes.
No. What? No.
Okay, because here's the thing. Like, we need to see if you're allergic to it, because if you just
Oh.
rub it on your face, you're not gonna die, but if you eat it, you will die if you're
You'll
allergic to
stop
it.
breathing.
Yeah,
I,
you'll
I
just,
don't.
yeah.
I really don't want to die from food.
From a shrimp, I know. I've seen it happen with shrimp and peanuts. Like, just someone just straight up ate a peanut and was, like, imagine getting assassinated by a legume. Like,
I'm allergic to peanuts.
see?
That's good to know.
That would be, like, incredibly easy. Like, you would just have to throw some peanuts down his throat, and Rylan would be done.
Now that would take precision to do.
Well,
that.
I don't know that it's like serious enough that it'd kill me, but I do get very sick.
Yeah. Can't have that. So we'll just put a shrimp, like, on your cheek, and if you don't swell up, then we can have them.
Okay. And Rylan, I will
And then-
take your secret to the grave.
Oh,
if you
thank
think.
you. Yeah, I trust
No one will
everyone
know.
here. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I know that if you did me dirty, Bella would knife you, so.
Yeah, and I know what she can do with knives. I've seen too
If
much.
you are allergic to a shrimp, are you going to get a little shrimp shaped like,
Like whelp on his face, yeah.
yeah, on your face?
You can say that
Cool.
you got it in
Like,
fight with a crustacean.
it's like an interesting birthmark. You're king
And
of the
it's going
shrimp.
to stay there forever?
No.
No.
Oh.
Well, why don't we find out, Stu? Let's get ready to go out and get some food.
Okay.
Late night food going on. All the best
no.
stuff is out this late at night.
It's true. It's true. It makes me wonder if people are allergic to crustaceans, like shellfish. Does that mean they're allergic to roly-polies?
Don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we gonna try
Maybe.
to science that and see if it works?
Why would you want to eat one?
I mean, when you're desperate enough, what if one just crawls?
I don't
into
think
your-
I'd ever be that
What if one
desperate.
just crawls up your nose, like if you're sleeping, like camping outside?
No, I think the only thing we have to fear camping outside was giant spiders, not
Oh.
roly-polies.
Giant roly-polies.
I don't know.
Whoa, okay, that's the stuff of nightmare.
We're walking and talking, but
Oh, yeah,
taking like
absolutely.
her favorite
Like-
spot when she was younger.
Yeah.
Seafood place.
Yeah, so you guys go for a little bit of a wander. Is everyone, because not we all, there are a group of you who maybe do or don't want to rather outwardly exhibit who and what you are. How are we presenting ourselves as we leave?
Ophelia's putting on her, nice cloak and using her
The
staff as a
I'm rich,
walking
but I'm
stick.
not a rich mage, yeah.
Right. And then,
Yeah.
asking Robert is like, hey, she go invisible for a while.
Can
Yeah.
do, miss, can do.
Is there a way for me to turn off the flaming bit of my staff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like, hey, look, it's a staff,
It's a
Yeah.
walking
Got
stick.
it.
You need it for your ankle.
right?
It's
Rylan.
actually a bow.
Yes, Bella.
We might have to ask you to stay behind.
Oh. Oh. Well, can I not just go get my own food?
You can.
Bye.
You can.
I mean, no, do you want me looking out for the place?
Yeah, I'm going to leave Sparrowhawk with you.
Okay. Do I have to stay sober?
You don't have to stay sober, but you can get shit-faced.
Okay. So just like
Just like vibe.
a buzz.
Yeah, you
Just
can
get a buzz
you can get a
on.
buzz.
Okay,
I haven't
I'll get a buzz on.
properly scouted the area yet, so
All right. On duty.
Robin, do you want to leave Finch here for the night?
Yeah, we're coming back, and honestly, just walking around with a stone child, I think would be. I wanna just go and eat in peace. So,
And I'm-
so Finch can have Ryland's back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they can take care of Sparrowhawk together.
Yeah.
Shara, do you want to stay or would you want to come with us?
I'm happy with either. So it is your.
The reason
Oh.
that she's asking
I'd
Cheryl
ra-
is because she doesn't want to make a decision.
Right. I would rather be with you in case something happened, but equally I'm okay staying here if you would rather I did.
I'll bring Andrew with me, just in case. She's good at sniffing out threats before others see them.
Okay.
She pats the head of the dog that's like almost at her chest height. Let's go eat.
Okay.
Are you alright?
Yeah. I'm okay. You know that version of I'm all right. I'm sure everyone does. I'm sure even Ophelia is aware of what that means.
Yeah. Everyone, why don't you just wait a few minutes and we'll head out, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Shall can I speak with you?
Yes. Am I in trouble? Okay. Because that could mean a few things. Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Maybe show everyone, you can show Rylan everything and maybe pick out rooms and stuff before we leave.
I want the one with the softest bed. He's running off already.
She'll move to like, I don't know, some other like, I don't know, fancy people have drawing rooms in their mansions.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
One of those, and she'll close the door. It'd be stupid of me to ask if you are okay, really, because I know you're not, but what is going on? I understand there are obvious situations, but...
Yeah. I guess I don't like being in a place where there are this many threats, particularly threats that have reason to want to hurt you.
I understand.
I know why we're here and I know that it's important, but we've been through a lot. And we've been through dangerous places together. Having my leg broken in the deep roads with the Dark Swan Horde is definitely one of the low points. I'm at a place now where it hurts less to think about and talk about the fact that the majority of my family were killed. It's just leaving me extra cautious with you. And I don't want to be, because I'm quite aware that you're very capable and can handle yourself. I don't want to come across as overbearing in that sense. I'm not used to having someone care about this much that isn't family.
I'm not overbearing. It'd be odd if you didn't care at all, really.
Yeah.
I know being here is not pleasant. But there are things I need to take care of before they come back to bite me in the ass.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, I'm not a simple person with a simple past. And I apologize for the worry that brings you.
You don't need to apologize. And I know while we're here, I know that it's important. I can't help being on edge and getting a little grumpy sometimes when we're throwing ourselves into situations that are
Dangerous.
yeah.
I understand. I am scared that something's going to happen to you. Or to Robin. Or Arlen. Even Ophelia. Because I know that's the people we are getting involved with. Sure, they don't just kill someone who displeases them. They go after the people they love. After their weak spot. And as much as I try to not have a weak spot in all my years of life, other than Marius, unfortunately I'm surrounded by a group that has become my weak spot. And you. It's one of the
Well,
biggest weak spots I have right now.
I don't want you to think of me as a weak spot. I'd rather be, you know, the armor that protects the weak spots.
You're right.
I don't know how to identify the line between being protective of you and being overprotective. Because I'm aware that too much of it can be grating.
Be there for me. Help me. Care for me. Worry about me.
Yeah.
But know that I will have to make my own decisions. And you've always respected that.
Yeah. I'm trying.
I know. And I appreciate that. But I don't want you to hide your worry. Not for
Okay.
me, at least.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I'm kind of new at this too. We're both
You're
kind of like working this out together.
Yeah. I'm at least glad that we're moving. I know that, I mean, I've put a lot of effort into the home that I built and what that means. But being in one place for a long time feels odd for me. So I'm glad that we're traveling.
I've only built
Not a
one.
way I'm used to. That boat.
I know, I'm so
I
sorry.
didn't like that boat.
We might have to travel on boats again.
Yeah.
We will have to travel on boats again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look. We're trying to reconcile the ways that we were raised and how we're going to live together. And I appreciate the home. I'm so happy we have a home that you built for us. That would never make you stay in one place. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's our home base. And a place we'll always come back to after we're done traveling. Where we'll plan our next travels. Where we'll come back to when we're trying to get a break, moving around. So we're not going to stay in one place. But I'm here right now to protect that creature. With you, with everyone, with Marius.
I've got your back.
I know. Just gonna give him a big old kiss.
Mm-hmm.
And hold his hand and just give him a smile and a hug. Very, like, nice moment between them.
Yeah.
She'll, like, once they're done talking and everything, she'll, like, leave him out and just still holding his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And meet the group again.
Yeah. You're able to meet everyone. And you'll roll out into the city for some late night eats. There are some restaurants that are still serving fairly late in the day. But some of the best places, which I imagine is where you were being shown to, are more like street food vendors down near the actual
Street
harbor
meats!
itself.
Yeah. As much as Bella would love to be able to go to like restaurants or like big establishment places when she was young, she didn't really have the money to do that. So her favorite places are most likely street vendors.
Yeah.
Street vendors that have probably been in that same corner for the past 50 years.
Same guy. Maybe some of them are still the same old seller. Yeah. Just looking a little older.
Like, oh, that guy has been there for like the last 35 years. The best fritters you'll ever taste.
When you
Don't worry
approach,
about the oil.
I imagine they may recognize you. You know, when you get regular customers, you always remember them, especially someone who's as visually notable as yourself. So we'll kind of be like, oh, it's very good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. It's been some time. I brought friends. I told them you were the best of the best.
Oh, she's right, of course.
So, he serves a little bit of everything. It's got a lot of good fritters. You still have like that fish special?
Yes, the one that's fried.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay. I'm just, I didn't know if you changed up your menu. I mean, perfect all the time, so you really don't have to change it up.
None
but
of that changed.
she will talk in Nantivan with him for a little bit, just exchanging pleasantries, and then be like, we're going to get this, we're going to get that, we're going to get this, we're going to get that. She's not even asking people. I'm going to eat 3 of those. And she's going to look at Ophelia, then look at Robin, then look at Arlen, and then 5 of these.
Yeah, you guys get a smorgasbord. Yeah. So it's like a full-on, it's almost like tapas, just a little bit of everything.
Listen, if we can find some street paella, that would be dope. But I'm gonna eat, Robin's gonna eat whatever comes from a cart. Like, because here's the thing, like, street food has to be good and sanitary, or else they go out of business. Like, that's the thing. The locals are eating there. Eat it. Like,
yes. If the locals are happy and it's been there for a long time, it must be good. Yeah.
There's,
no,
like,
you get
little places next to them, like on the street, that people sit down to eat.
Yeah,
like, it's not really
benches.
like a table and chair, but there's like benches on the sidewalks, or like you sit on this edge of the street.
Yeah, absolutely. Just
so you guys are well fed. You can find somewhere as well to get a little bit of seafood to rub on Arlen's face. Arlen, do you want to make the decision if you're allergic or not, or do you want to roll for it?
I'm gonna roll that. Let's see.
Okay, what should we do? Odds you are, evens you're not?
Correct.
Okay.
/ roll 1d2.
Yeah.
You're allergic to shrimp.
So they rub a little bit on you and then kind of like leave you to you're eating your food and stuff like that. Eventually you start to feel a bit of like burning.
I'm
on the side of your
puffing up on one side.
It's a little puffy, yeah.
This food's delicious, but what's going on?
Arlen, I think you're allergic to shellfish.
No paella for you.
At least none for you, buddy.
No seafood one. There's probably some that has like chicken or like a
Yeah.
good spice sausage in it. Mm-hmm.
Don't worry. There's still a lot of food you can eat here.
I get a bit sad.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. You know, scared of the sea and also allergic to seafood.
Yeah, at the very least, he's allergic to shellfish. Like,
Yeah.
we don't, like...
Yeah.
Like, I would assume, like, river fish is something fairly normal for him to have, but, like...
Yeah.
But
Or
shellfish is different.
Yeah, but shellfish is different than fish, so... Like, I imagine
Yeah.
salmon makes it all the way up to the frostbacks during
Oh,
spawning
yeah.
season. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very much so.
Ophelia, I know this isn't really your fancy restaurants, but, you know, it's good food.
I'm willing to try it.
She'll, like, hand her... I'm going off of food from, like, where I'm from.
Yeah.
And there's this thing called bacalaitos, and it's like cod pieces in like a batter, and you just pour it onto a fryer. And the ones that you get off the side of the street, because you do get those, it's actual street food that you get in Puerto Rico, are like, it's bigger than your face. So she's just gonna hand her one of those. And it's super crispy on the edges and a little bit softer and chewy in the center.
It's just like kind of
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah.
Try to like pick off a piece, but she has to hold it, and then she'll like
Yeah.
try to eat
You
it.
can
Like,
just
how do
bite
you eat it?
You can just bite into it. Just go for it.
How much fried food does Ophelia normally eat?
Probably not much. She
Yeah.
probably has everything like sauteed and grilled and all
Yeah.
Yeah.
fancy, like cooked in butter, or
Yeah.
because Navarra has a lot of Orlesian influence too, so it's like that
Yes.
heavy, creamy
Yeah.
Cream,
kind of
butter
deal.
and garlic. Butter and garlic.
Oh, yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So this she's eaten fish, but she probably hasn't had fried fish very much, if at all.
No. So
Let
it's
me
an
see if I can
experience.
put a
Imagine
picture.
never having had fried food before, and like you get to try really delicious fried fish. That must
Yeah.
just be world changing.
The first time I had fish and chips on the coast, I was a kid, but I still remember that first time, and I was just like, I'm like shoveling it
Yeah.
in my mouth as fast as I
Yeah.
could, so my sister couldn't.
I love fried fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being from the not only from the UK, but like my city is coastal, so like the fish literally came off a boat and onto your plate, and it is just
Right?
ascending to the heavens.
I posted a picture of what it looks like in our chat, and then I'm gonna post a picture of the street ones.
Oh my god. What the heck?
I mean, geez.
And that's huge. Yeah, you know,
They're
it's
not
like
always that size, but like they
Yeah.
can get pretty big.
delicious. Okay. Very good. Y'all eat. Can I get a round of perception checks? More seeing than anything else. From anyone who feels like they have a reason to be somewhat perceptive right now. If you're just focused on food and good times and just rolling with it, you know, if you really think your character wouldn't, you don't need to roll.
Rogues are constantly
And
perceptive.
I'm going to use one of my auto successes on this.
Oh.
Because I feel like Bella, above anyone, it's like she's like trying to like get the group to kind of relax, but also she is heavily aware of her surroundings.
Yeah.
She's gonna use one of her auto successes.
Okay. All right. Few things. You having lived here and knowing the tales and the fact that the crows, while they're a secretive organization and how they're run and their inner workings and the places and what have you, they can be very visibly crows without any kind of fear, because they kind of help in running this place. There's a reason why, even though they don't have an army here, people still don't come and fuck with Antiva because they have the crows. So you note a few. A couple who seem to be in the somewhat casually dressed down but still wearing markers that let you know that they are crows that are passing by and kind of going about their own business. You see one person who is fully armored up with the crow, the beaked helmet and the feathered the cloak and stuff, and just looking all cool up on a rooftop, hopping from one to the other, and then they perch and they seem to be looking over the dock area. It's not necessarily you're getting the vibe that you yourself or your group are being watched, but the area is certainly being watched. You also see a very interesting gentleman, very dark skin, handsome, with very notable hair. It's quite unique in that it's black. It's kind of got the, you know, when it's been twisted into the little pointy bits when afro hair's kind of got those little cool little twists. Sitting on top of the head, almost in a faux hawk, because the sides look short and the ends are almost orange in color. It's very unusual. Finely dressed, standing at the corner of a street, very much and very impressively, given the impression, standing waiting for someone. You do notice that there are two groups, it seems, down here at the docks. Other vendors are doing things that his eyes are on, but there are occasionally glances over at you guys. But it's very much acting natural. You would have had to roll very high to notice this guy specifically. The other things you may have noticed with a high regular roll, but with a crit auto success and all those stunts, yeah, you spot that guy.
And he doesn't look familiar at all. Just someone who I would.
Doesn't look familiar, but quite striking look to him. It's a bit of a distance and it's dark, so this wouldn't normally have been a thing, but let's say, maybe a guard has passed by carrying a bit of torchlight just to illuminate a bit more brightly the area that they're in, and you note pointed ears. Seems to be an elf.
Can I say that there is a point when that illumination is going on?
Yeah.
That she meets his eyes for a moment. Just that half second kind of eyes met.
Yeah.
And just kind of see if he's keeping her stare, holding her stare.
If it's apparent that you're looking right at him, he will hold it for a moment, just in an act of curiosity, a slight raise of the eyebrow, nod of the head, and then looks at something else.
It's kind of they're doing the same thing at the same time, a half-second stare. And then she continues
looks
on. She goes talks to Arlen or something.
Yep.
And she, in the meantime, she's going to just whisper at least to Robin, who I know she Bella knows that Robin would be they're kind of on the same level of rogue, just slightly different branches of rogue, but she will kind of point out very quietly and not obvious at all, you see these people walking by, these markers mean that they're crow. This one's on that perch, he has a hood, that's obviously a crow.
They look dope as shit.
Y'all
know what they look like. They look dope as shit.
Just to she knows Robin is also very perceptive.
Yeah.
To have somebody else aware of their surroundings and the people around.
Oh yeah.
And also to kind of let her know how heavy the presence is.
For sure, I never look like I am looking up from my kebab as I make sure I clock these people that some of them I've probably, because I had gotten a 16, so probably some of them I had even seen already. But you see, I see, we both see. Yeah.
Bella's motioning they're talking about the food. But they're definitely not talking about the food.
It's I wonder if they got any chicken around. Yeah, there's a murder afoot.
just that whole like rogue, like in between the lines kind of talk.
And that's like the thing. It's like I feel like that we have our own code speak as well. Like that is because we have been traveling long enough with each other. Like we have kind of like our own thieves' cant essentially between us.
I'm okay with that. Yeah. I'd say so.
Yeah.
Can Ophelia be looking for her uncle using her necromancy?
Yes.
Would that be an entropy roll since that's its specialty?
Yes, if that's the School of Magic it comes to, absolutely. Ooh. Definitely no signs or senses of anything necromantic in energy here. And if he was here, you would feel that. So definitely not that. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a very high roll. So aside from knowledge that he's definitely not here, you can most assuredly say, I will give you, there's a vibe that I imagine mages feel when there are other mages nearby. Like you're both like little, if you imagine like silk fabric and there's little pins, you know, like that kind of keep it attached. Your little tethers to connection through the fade. And you, especially given your nature and the fact that you have a spirit that you speak to, kind of keep that line open almost all the time, I imagine. Because even though he's not visible, you're kind of still connected to him. You get the feels that there's another mage nearby. And given what you've been told politically is happening right now, other mages being out and about in a big city feels like it might be a rarity at the moment, given that the circles have all collapsed and everybody's considered apostates and running around.
Okay. Ophelia might comment to like comment to maybe like Arlen, so she's not directly interrupting Bella and Robin's conversation. Be like, oh, it seems like I'm not the only one with a staff out here tonight. With my walking stick.
I look around with 2 skewers of chicken, trying to find what you're talking about.
I have like the skewers of chicken, like with barbecue sauce on them, and there's always gonna be a piece of bread at the top.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Are we in any kind of danger?
Can Ophelia tell if the other mage can sense her like she can sense them? Is there any way for Ophelia to block her
You would want to roll. I would roll another magic roll to tap into this specifically. Are you just trying to like detach yourself as much as possible so that you're not being perceived as such, or are you trying to tap into maybe to figuring out who it is? Which because they're both very different.
I think more it would be a curiosity of who that person was if she could figure that out.
Okay,
like
I'd roll a spirit roll because you're kind of helping.
Okay.
I imagine Robert make this connection. Gulp. 90 with 5 stump points. Okay. With the assistance of Robert, you are getting vibes from a street corner. And you can see, you don't know it's the same person because you've not been told that there is a curiosity over there on that street corner, but you see a man with very rich dark skin and interesting hair who's casually looks like he's waiting for someone. And you get the feeling, mostly because it seems like, although it's not something visible that like a layman would necessarily recognize, none of your compatriots are likely to notice this, but you get that feeling that there is currently an active spell that he is using right now, and that is helping you single in on him pretty quickly.
Okay.
Nothing visible, you can't necessarily see it so nobody around him is necessarily going to be suspicious, but you're able to get those feels on the air.
So Ophelia will do her best because she can't really speak in code, but kind of like just mention that there's a dark-skinned elf nearby with similar
That's to everyone
abilities
or
to
just
her
to
own.
Arlen?
Well,
if-
she's
as-
speaking to you as out loud, so
Yeah.
you and Robin could certainly overhear what she's
Yeah.
saying, but she looks like she's talking to Arlen.
Yeah, Bella will look to like her food and just kind of talk casually, like street corner, right? Dark skin.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you sense anything?
Only that he is of similar ability to mine,
Hmm.
similar skill set. He's not doing anything untoward that I can tell.
Is he like clocking you, or is he just existing?
I think he's just existing. I'm not sure that he is aware of me as I am aware of him.
Do you?
Can I do like an empathy roll on this guy just to, since I already know,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like because he's clearly like casually waiting for someone, but is he just there to like scope something out? Is he actually waiting for someone? Is he waiting for something?
Yep.
Kind of situation.
Roll for it.
Okay. Hopefully, I don't have to use a reroll. Oh, an 18
Ooh.
on the first sub point.
It's a good roll. What you're able to sense from that is, he seems to have stopped lingering his gaze on you guys. And while to some that may be a case of, well, clearly the other two that he was keeping an eye on are the ones he's actually paying attention to. Maybe when he was looking your way, it was just happenstance while he's scanning around to look natural. But you know how these games are played, and it's likely that the other two are the red herrings. And knowing that you've clocked him, he is now less likely to have lingering looks your way, because then that makes it obvious. So, it seems that of the groups here, it is in fact you guys he is interested in.
Okay.
Does he just think we're hot?
I mean, we are.
We are.
We're on fire?
Robin, would you like to take a walk with me?
Yeah. Let's go for a walk.
You two, you three. Enjoy your food, she's gonna say. We'll be right back. I just have to go see if I can find a restroom somewhere.
Can you bring back more?
We need to go.
Yeah, I'll bring back more.
Yeah, we gotta go. Bella's gotta poop, and I need to watch her back while she poops.
Yeah.
You know how it is, just in case. Gotta go pop a squat. Gotta get somebody to hold up the bed sheet so that no one sees it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna turn to Ophelia. Is it true that ladies always go in pair when they go to the bathroom? Is that what's happening here?
I don't know.
And Bella's gonna take a walk for like if he's in a street corner. Like,
Well,
say they're here.
funny
Uh-huh.
you should say that. As you guys stood to explain to them that you're going for a walk and the Bella needs to go poop, so we have to go in, and you turn around and he's not on the street corner anymore.
He's gone entirely.
Maybe. Y'all can roll me a perception check.
Can I roll a magic one?
You can, if you know that that's what they're. If you're trying to help them, are you going with
Searching or
them or are you
seeing?
staying?
I'm staying, but I'm even from that distance, I'm sure I can do some magical check, right? If he is invisible, maybe?
Yes. Well, we'll see what they do, because
Okay.
Are you aware that they're going looking for this guy?
No, she's like, okay.
Because
so
they're
they
trying
have
to make it
poop.
seem like they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
Mhm.
knew what they were doing, I would have allowed it.
Okay, yeah, no, I don't know what they're doing.
Is it searching or seeing?
It's seeing. Well,
I argue
I guess
tracking?
searching.
Tracking?
I'd argue either can.
Tracking? Would it be tracking
That's
or
following tracks and signs of passage. That's more seeing the stuff. If you're looking for a person, I would either or really seeing or searching.
Okay.
Although I think
It's
you
all
guys
the
have
same
both,
for me.
so
Yeah.
yeah.
It's all the same. 13 and
Mhm.
16, yeah.
Robin, you see a couple people in a crowd like moving out of the way, which perhaps gives the sign that somebody is has caused them to part ways slightly.
Mhm.
Bella, you're the one that kind of clocks the back. You can see little bits of the orange hair kind of poking up. He's a fairly tall gentleman. But he is now slinking rather expertly, I might say. Y'all should be impressed. Especially if you've just been given the news that he's not a rogue.
yeah?
As if he's got magic.
She's gonna slink him back.
Multi-classed.
She's gonna slink follow him.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm sure she
all
pointed
right.
it out to me, so I'm just...
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can follow him behind. I mean, you're short. I mean, you're both kind of
Do
short.
we
let's
want
be
to
quite
try and flank him somewhere? Like, one of us get ahead of him and the other stays behind? You're faster and you have shadows. You could probably get ahead of him first.
Yeah.
And I'll stick behind.
Yeah.
Cool.
She will use her shadow
honest.
to she'll gain a +1 on stealth. And they find it difficult. No, that's yeah. So she's gonna enter shadow mode, and she also has her boots of the outlaw, so they have -3 to track me, and I leave no tracks and no sound.
Okay. Roll me stealth first of all, and then you're trying to make your way in an agile way through a crowd to get out in front of him? Are you climbing up over top of things to get in front of him? Are you just simply trying to move in his wake? What is your approach? And then I'll tell you what the appropriate role is.
She is he heading like into alleyways and stuff, or is he following the main? Okay.
A lot of so once you move away from the port, as soon as you get into any of the streets, they're effectively small alleyways. Yeah.
Okay. She is going to kind of try and cut him off, like maybe see where he's going and kind of follow his direction on like an alternate route.
Yeah.
To kind of keep an eye on him.
Okay.
Let me stealth said.
Stealth, yeah. And so your aim is to track, not get ahead.
Get ahead a little bit. No, not get ahead yet. Just kind of keep pace with him. Sorry, yeah. So track.
Okay, so we're
26.
both just kind of following on behind him. Very good. You're very stealth. Okay, Robin, are you just moving on ahead, or are you trying to be stealthy as well?
I'm gonna be stealthy, but like I said, I'm gonna be behind him. I'm essentially gonna be using the fact that I'm just like short to sort of be able to just blend in with all of the height privileged people, but
so perhaps a little bit of deception or performance to act, like use other things to misdirect.
Yep. What do
Whichever
I have
you choose.
the best in? Yeah, I mean, I do have stealth as well. Like, I don't have any of those. I just have stealth.
You can just roll stealth then.
Yeah.
It's just flavor for how you're doing it.
Yeah. I mean, it would be a +2. Like.
Yeah.
17.
Nice. Very good.
Can I say sorry because you were talking about like getting ahead?
Yeah.
She's going to eventually want to like, if she knows he's gonna turn to someone, kind of get a few steps ahead, so you almost like turn into that corner and like into her, kind of like confront him in a way.
Okay.
But not like aggressively, just like he turns into a corner and she's just there. She's like, hi.
She's like, oh, this isn't the bathroom.
So if he's moving ahead and there's a T-junket and he's gonna go left, you want to kind of be standing there when he goes left?
Yeah. So get ahead a little bit.
Acrobatics then. to try and wangle your way through this crowd to get ahead of him.
I'm gonna use a reroll.
Okay.
20.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me mark
Much
that off.
better. I got you. I'm
Thank
already
you.
here.
Okay. You managed to move through the crowds, and just using a little bit of, I guess, a little bit of empathy as well, that role of like just trying to judge his movements and where he seems to be turning. You go down the same side alley that he does. You can see him kind of reaching out a hand, but then you're in front of him, so he stops, pauses, and just gives you a bit of a smile as he lets his hands kind of relax at his side again.
Hello.
Hello. Sorry, I'm trying to walk.
Yeah. Interesting. I would like to know why you're watching us.
I watch a lot of people.
Yeah.
People are
I
interesting.
understand. See, you would think you're watching three groups, and I'm being one. And you would think that the two groups that you're watching more after would be the ones that you're going for, but that would be what you would do to try and trick the other group into thinking that you're not going after them. It's a smart play, really. I
Yeah,
admire it.
it would work on normal people. Hi.
And you're not normal people.
I don't know, you tell me.
I mean, do you just like our butts?
Well, you two both have rather nice butts.
We do.
For different reasons, they're two very different butts.
Yes.
People watching, or maybe someone asked you to look out for us?
Oh, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Would you want to know that on a public street with people watching us? And you see him like pointing up, somewhat casually, like the hand is against his chest, so you guys can see it, but somebody above couldn't necessarily see it past his head. If you choose to look up, you will see that there are not one, not two, but three crows just generally patrolling and looking at the streets and aware of the surroundings.
She's not gonna look up. She's aware.
Kind of like at that, like Robin is gonna take a few steps forwards and just casually link my arm with his and be like, there you are! Oh, okay, you're so funny. You like our butts. Man, I could use some bread. You wanna go get some bread?
I'd love to get some bread. Would you love to get some bread?
I would love to. I know this place has got great drinks. I feel like a drink as well.
Yeah, some liquid bread, eh?
And she will link her arm, his other arm with hers, to keep his hands visible to her.
Yeah.
He lets it happen.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go.
Where are we going?
She will. Is there any like really, not necessarily like hole in the wall where it's like people would obviously go to like meet and do anything, but just like a very like calm, not many people go to type of bar that she would know of nearby?
Yes, there's probably a few. I mean, there's definitely places where you want to go and be able to have subtle conversations without people listening.
Okay. Yeah, does she know?
There's the places that like to an unknowing eye would be like, that place looks good. We could probably go in there and have a conversation. But that's exactly where they do have ears to listen into those conversations. Whereas when you are a local, you know the ones that are actually quite secretive, and usually it's the ones that are actually fairly bustling. And there's plenty of people.
So if she would know that, because she's a local, she was is there any like around that she could like guide them to?
Yeah, probably one not terribly far.
Yeah, she will guide them there and just keep like casual conversation. and then
I love paella.
yeah, just
You're in the right place for it then.
I know.
I wonder if they still have those good drinks I really wanted. You know, it's been a while.
Have you
But,
ever?
oh,
Have you
Yeah?
ever? This is the small talk that I'm just asking. This elf. Have you ever tussled with a legume and lost?
A legume?
Mm-hmm.
Can't say that I have.
Interesting. Some people just die from legumes.
Yes. Some people die from rocks that fall from the sky and they don't know where they came from.
They came from the sky, clearly.
Why was there a rock in the sky?
It came off
I
the moon.
once heard of a man who died via goose.
Well, that makes sense. Geese are terrifying.
They're
They have
terrifying.
teeth.
Have you seen their teeth? And this is what
you
he's
know,
saying as they're going to them.
There is a mage in this town who is fully convinced that he used to be a goose who was turned into a person.
Oh, it's like a inverted situation, huh?
And I'm not there to meet him.
We're gonna find this mage. It's just for
Yeah.
Arlen.
She's like, Arlen, I've heard something.
Yeah.
We're not pulling your leg. Like this is now part of the mission.
Yeah. But she will kind of take them into that bar, order some drinks.
Yep.
Go into a little booth.
Are your friends not going to miss you?
And your friends? I'm not gonna miss you.
I didn't have any.
You're a friend now.
Yeah.
Am I?
Yeah. We're friends now. That's why we're hanging out.
Yes. Good.
So,
Tell me about yourselves then.
well, you know, I'm a Capricorn. I like long walks on the beach.
Sagittarius.
I enjoy a good brandy. I also like to know why people are watching me.
It's a fair question.
Yeah. Wonder if she'll ever have it answered by someone who was watching her.
I imagine lots of people were watching you.
Yeah, but only
Yes,
one was
you
really
were.
obvious about it.
It's the ones that aren't obvious that you have to worry about,
Yeah.
you know.
No, see, there were people watching. But you, in a dark corner, barely lit by passing lanterns, kind of stuck out.
Again, if it was normal people, it would have worked.
There are several curious things about your group, and I like to know more about curious people.
What's the most curious thing so far that you would like to know about?
Of your group?
Yeah, like name one curious thing. Like maybe we can help
Her
out.
red hair and the fact that you have a mage with you.
Yeah, I was also.
Plus the
wondering why a
incredibly
mage was
tall
watching us.
human. That's interesting.
Didn't I dye her hair?
No,
Okay.
she didn't dye her hair.
Not Bella's.
I
You
dyed,
died
that's right.
Leah's.
You died Ophelia, yeah.
I dyed Leah's hair, yeah.
It would make sense why a mage would be curious about another mage. Yeah.
You're right.
And red hairs are just recessive genes. Or dyes. Usually from raspberries.
So is this curiosity all for yourself?
Mostly, yes, naturally.
Are you a little information broker?
Partly, yes. I work with several people in this city, but I mostly just work for me. I'm not here to be antagonistic, nor do I want it to come across as I'm somehow an enemy in some way.
I would like to empathize with this man to see
Sure.
lying.
Check in there as well.
Yeah.
14.
16.
I'll save my reroll.
14.
I'll
16.
also, let me just...
You have 13 rerolls. No.
I know. That's true.
Yeah, if you want to knock this out of the park, feel free to just use them.
I'll reroll.
Roll
19.
20 has the
19,
imagery
nice.
of this man now, by the way. 19, nice.
Yeah, 16 and 19.
With a 6 point instead.
Yeah,
When
that is
he
fair.
says, yeah, which bit in particular, or are we holistically, what are we trying to figure out with what you just said?
What's with the red, like, why did he point out the red hair first?
That might be a little harder to figure out just from motive readings. I will say he seemed fairly genuine, actually, when he said he's not here as an enemy to you or to be antagonistic, and that while he does have parties that he works with here, he mostly is working with himself.
That's what she's more like.
Those were
about.
true statements. There's definitely a layer to it with those stump points.
Well, I actually have a really important question.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Salir.
See you later?
Salir.
Salir.
Sorry, maybe it's my accent.
Salir. Yeah. Does that ring a bell?
Oh, I do love it when things just fall into my lap.
Same.
Tell me, Slayer.
Yeah.
I think maybe you might be familiar with me through word of mouth. Just guessing.
Not in the way you think. I'm assuming. I mean, I don't know what's going on in your head. I'm happy for you to share.
Well, there's a few sources. How's Alejandro doing?
Fine.
I know that look.
He's all right, but you know, when you are a small fish in a big pond, he tries too hard sometimes.
Doesn't he?
I'm trying to help. Not necessarily with his ends, but I feel like his talents could be better spent elsewhere.
What exactly?
I wonder,
Go ahead.
you seemed to clock something about myself. Was that information purely gleaned from your friend?
Yeah. I'll give you that. Question.
Yes.
Are you in the market of nuts? Giving out jobs, but maybe working with?
I work with, but my purpose is simply the empowerment and rising up of our people.
Now, there are a few groups that constitute our people for you.
Elves. No offense, he says to the
No offense.
Robin.
Yeah.
None taken.
I'm sure if you travel with Bella, right?
Yeah, she pulled me out of a catfish once.
Nice.
just trying to swallow me whole, and she just yoinked me out.
I would love to hear that story someday.
Be. I would love to get to know your mom. I
Same.
think our paths quite align.
I agree.
Most perfectly. But I would like to know something.
Mm.
If it's not from Alejandro.
Hmm.
From who?
I have very good sources.
I am aware. I am sure you do.
I can't tell you who. Not people from here. It's not, your personal stuff.
What was that? You can't tell me.
I can't tell you who. It's not from your personal stuff. I don't know what your I don't know the lengths of your details in that sense. I have a question to ask of you, but I should like to do that alone. I'm happy to wait or not ask it at all if you'd rather.
I'm gonna exchange a
Robin,
look
could
with
you-
Bella and like,
Robin, could you get me another drink from the bar?
sure. Slides out under the table and then
He holds his hands up innocently, like
yeah. But have like a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder. To what lengths and how far would you go for the good of our people?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
She's going to lean forward and say, I fought the beings beyond your imagination and across worlds for all people. I've defied the Chantry multiple times for our people.
They deserve it.
Very much so. I've almost died for our people at some point. How far are you willing to go?
The ends of the earth.
We are two peas in a pod. Nice.
Indeed. That's all I
Maybe.
really needed to know.
Does Alejandro know I'm here?
No.
Nice.
He might have figured it out on his own. I don't actually know.
He's a little slow, but he learns. And where can I find you to speak with you again?
Well, I may be around the city now and again. There's a place, House of the Flesh, shall we say, called the Perfumed Spring.
Right.
If you leave a note there that you're hoping to speak to me, I will get it, and we'll come find you.
Okay.
I'm not always going to be in the city. I don't know how long you plan on being here.
I'm here for a while. Are you leaving anytime soon?
Yes. I come and go.
Alright.
Travel is easy.
Well, then I shall leave a note for you for us to speak again. If your curiosity still lingers in your head about us, I feel we have much information we can exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Especially about our people just up and leaving.
I'd like to know about that too. Maybe another night.
Maybe another night. It was a pleasure to meet you, Slim.
And you.
She'll hold out her hand.
He'll shake it. Mm-hmm.
She will stand up with a smile. Go over to Robin.
Well, he'll as he's
Go ahead.
as he's shaking your hand before he turns to leave, and he leaves pretty quickly. He says, "Send my regards to your friends, and may the Dreadwolf guide your way."
Sorry, I just had a visceral reaction.
And he ducks out.
Yeah.
Just casually. He's not going at any sort of like pace or
Yeah.
trying to remain hidden. He just leaves.
She watches him leave, goes up
Mhm.
to Robin, puts her arm around him, slams down whatever drink Robin has.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go fire and friends.
Okay. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
And on that
Thank you.
bombshell, everyone,
Yeah.
we are at time, just over.
Absolute visceral fucking reaction to that. It's alright. Hey everyone. See how we feel about genocide later on. So the game is almost 10 years old, we know.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for coming and showing up. As always, it is always a treat to be out here in Thetis. So it's time for me to listen to another Dragon Age book soon. I think I listened to the first one last year, so we'll have to go to the second one this year. But as far as what's going on, like, this is technically one of two shows that I do on this channel. My other show is every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time, 7:30 Eastern. It is my Animorphs game that I run. It's a Hacks in the Dark that's done by On the Forefront, and my players just learned some shit about time travel and nuclear bombs and salt mines and turning into dolphins, and on top of all of that, they still have to pass the 11th grade. So, like, that's just some classic Animorphs for you. So, classic. So that happens. We're not on my channel where you can find me playing games. I play every other Sunday over on Nat One Heroes, some Rime of the Frost Maiden, and starting next month, it was supposed to start this month, but we've been delayed, I will be over on Sword and Key, and we will play some Brindlewood Bay, where I'm bringing back a character that I used to play in a different campaign. So I think it's the second week of April we'll be starting that. So like in about 3 weeks, hopefully. Fingers crossed. That'll happen. Otherwise, that's me. That's what you can do. I'm gonna get a link to my Discord, so if you're not in my Discord, you should come. Everybody else, what you doing? Who are you? Where are you in the world?
Hi, I'm K Phoenix, or K. I play Ophelia, and this is currently the only game I'm in on the internet, so you can tune in every Saturday and watch me play our Mortalitasi Mage.
Hi, you can find me on the Twitter at @the_gambit, and I'll be
Twitter.
here next week. Say what?
The Twitter.
The Twitter.
Mhm.
The Twitter.
And you can find me here next week playing my big boy once again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My name is Sam. I'm art on the internet. I'll be here next week playing our lovely redhead, as has been pointing out multiple times in the game. Most of my other games are on hold, so you'll see me here more often. And I feel like I had something else to say, but I don't know what it is. Love you guys. I can't wait to find out more about what's happening.
Yep. Hi everyone, it's me, Emma, Hummalou on the internet. You can find me here every Saturday running these guys through some Dragon Age games. Everything is fine.
Everything is fine. Everything is fine. All right, cool. And with that, we're going to go and raid Utopia, because that is super easy for me. Because, first of all, my good friend, possibly best friend Obadiah is playing, as well as my good friend Norden Ali. This is like a something that's going on for like a Kickstarter of some sort. Like the promos came out for a while. But yeah, go to Utopia. It is a queer POC channel, so let's do that. All right, with that, that's us. Let's wait. Like, where's my OBS? Bye. See you later. We'll see y'all next week. See ya. Cool.